On Ile d'Orléans, the British camp is confused and divided. It is commanded by a very sick man who spends whole days in bed, and even when he's well, he's indecisive. James Wolfe's relationship with his senior officers is poisonous. He ignores their advice, and they dismiss him as a mere career soldier from the middle class. One of his brigadiers is George Townshend, the son of a viscount. Townshend openly mocks his commander, drawing caricatures which he passes around the camp. To his wife, he writes a bitter letter.
I never served so disagreeable campaign as this. Our unequal force has reduced our operations to a scene of skirmishing, cruelty, and devastation. General Wolfe's health is but very bad. His generalship, in my poor opinion, is not much better.
The summer is half gone, and Wolfe can't decide where to attack. His senior officers believe Wolfe should outflank Quebec and land upriver. But suddenly, and without consulting his brigadiers, Wolfe orders a different invasion, not upriver, but here, at the Beauport shore, where Montcalm's army is securely entrenched. On the morning of Tuesday, July 31st, near the falls at Montmorency, Wolfe launches the invasion of Quebec. 4,000 British troops storm the beaches in front of the Beauport trenches. It's the same gamble Wolfe used at Louisbourg and won. But the French troops and the Canadian militia are ready for them. This time, Wolfe's gamble ends in disaster. The French have crushed the great British invasion. Vaudreuil is jubilant.
I have no more anxiety about Quebec. Monsieur Wolfe, I can assure you, will make no progress. His orders say that he will try us again in a few days. That's what we want. He'll find somebody to talk to.
Wolfe is humiliated and desperate. Now he opens the darkest chapter of his campaign, telling his officers, "I intend to burn the whole country from Kamouraska to the Point of Levis." If he can't capture Canada, he will destroy its harvests, its granaries, its food for the winter. The British range along the St. Lawrence for 100 miles. They lay waste to deserted villages and farms. The most zealous are men from the American colonies, bent on revenge for the burning of their own frontier settlements by the French and the Indians.
I've learned that on the South Shore, the English, as well as burning the parish of Saint-Antoine, have burned Saint-Nicolas and Sainte-Croix. On the Ile d'Orléans, the houses in the parish of Saint-François, half the homes in Sainte-Famille, and as well those of Baie-Saint-Paul. And that they sent 600 men to the lower South Shore to burn the houses and wheat fields.
Lieutenant Malcolm Fraser of the 78th Highlanders was marching to Sainte-Anne-de-Beaupré when his detachment was fired on by 200 Canadians and Indians. But he was more disturbed by what his own side did.
There were several of the enemy killed or wounded, and a few prisoners taken, all of whom the barbarous Captain Montgomery, who commanded us, ordered to be butchered in a most inhuman and cruel manner.
Wolfe is despondent. He knows that failure here means public disgrace in England. He writes a letter to his widowed mother, ending with a startling announcement.
I approve entirely of my father's disposition of his affairs, though perhaps it may interfere a little matter with my plan of quitting the service, which I am determined to do the first opportunity. I mean, so as not to be absolutely distressed in circumstances, nor burdensome to you, or to anybody else.
Time has run out. With summer at an end, the Royal Navy must pull out all its ships in 2 weeks. Wolfe writes to the British cabinet.
I found myself so ill, and am still so weak, that I begged the general officers to consult together for the public utility. They are all of opinion to draw the enemy from their present situation and bring them to an action. I have acquiesced in their proposal, and we are preparing to put it into execution.
The generals decide that 5,000 men will invade 30 miles upriver, but at the last moment, rain delays the attack. While the invaders wait in their ships, Wolfe wanders off by himself, back toward Quebec, always examining the north shore. No one can quite believe what he comes up with. Wolfe will gamble one more time.